Hello, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here. On Saturday, July 7th, 2018 at 15:15 Eastern Time, U.S. And of course today we celebrate that England triumphed over Sweden in the World Cup and therefore gets to move on. Yay! It's been a glorious day. I mean, it's been like in the low 60s, high 60s, low 70s all day. Wind out of the east. It's very dry. It's sunny. It's nice. It's pleasant. There's been a fair amount of traffic noise, but that's okay. Not many of these guys that like to, gun the engines in their penises. I went up to the bank and paid my real estate tax. They're due on the 10th, so I thought, well, I'll just do that today. And I was there just as the door sprung open because of the, they unlock it electrically, and so the doors kind of go, bing, they open about this far. Bing. And that's the first time I'd seen that. There was a young woman across the way at the counter, and I said, "Good morning." She says, "Good morning." And I said, "Can you still pay your real estate tax here?" Well, the bank was bought here about a year and a half ago, and it was Delaware County Bank. Now it's First Commonwealth Bank, and yeah, indeed, we can still pay our real estate tax at First Commonwealth Bank. And so I had the check written out. It was like $3,403.66 for a half year. The second half of 2017. Keep the damn school district happy, don't we, huh? And $3,600 of that a year goes to the school district. Terrazzo floors my ass. Anyway, enough of that. So she says, so there were two bills, because I have two parcels, so there are two tax bills. One's, the house is like $2,600 a half, and the front field, what's left of it, is a little over $800 a half. Okay, so I wrote a check for $3,403.66. As I've been paying taxes up at that bank, or, well, not at that particular branch, but that way, since 1982. I got my first tax bills in 1982. And, one check, boom. Take all the bills up, one check. For a while there were three parcels. That's no longer the case. And she says, we're going to have to, these need to be on separate, you need separate checks for each one. I didn't change my expression. I didn't say anything except to say, "No, I don't." She said, "Oh, yeah, we've got it." I said, "No, I don't. No, you don't." I said, "One check is fine. One check is fine." I said, "No, one check's fine. Trust me." So finally, her compadre, the older woman who's clearly a bit more experienced, she said, "Oh yeah, you can do that." I mean, just one check's fine. So I went over and dealt with her. This woman could clearly have been trained, but somewhere along the line she had failed to think. So that put me in a fine mood. Actually, it did put me in a fine mood for going down and buying food at Wal-Mart. And I bought mozzarella cheese, and I found herring. I found herring, canned herring, which I really like. And they had it stashed away where nobody could see it, but I found it. And I bought every can they had, except for one that was really mashed and crushed at the end. And even I kind of balked at buying that sort of a maimed can of fish. And then I got like 12 pounds, well, actually 18 pounds of Johnsonville hot sausages, hot Italian sausage. And Oscar Mayer's, I got 4 pounds of Oscar Mayer's beef salami. So, all right, we're good to go, what else? Oh, and some shells, some spaghetti type shell things. I don't like to use the word pasta. It annoys me. It verges on the pretentious in some people's minds and mouths. Maybe when they eat it too. Okay, so to home, and nice porch time out on the deck, enjoying the way things are. It's great. I went and got some Boston Lager over at Giant Eagle. I got some more wine at Giant Eagle. So I had a Boston Lager. I stood down at the end of the driveway and watched the traffic go by and raised my bottle to the appropriate people. There were a lot of guys going by in these kind of restored cars. There was a nice Chevy Bel Air drove by, and Pontiac Bonneville, and then a fellow went by in probably an early 80s Chevy Silverado truck. Very original paint job, not a speck of rust. It was great, very nice. And there were actually some people fishing in Alum Creek. They were across on the other side, and I didn't see him catch anything. I think it was a dad and his sort of 13, 14-ish year old son. Well, I presume it was his son. And they didn't catch anything. I think the kid got, well, as one does, down in that creek. It must not have been much current, because I think they were using, bait and bobbers, and they were actually fishing upstream with bobbers. So I don't know. They may have the dam completely shut off up at the dam, so there wouldn't be any current then, except for just groundwater flowing into the creek that's downstream from the dam. Today's image is a picture of an Haboob, which is a sandstorm, and this happens to be in Arizona. And since my good friend Tony, out in Seattle currently, but soon not to be in Seattle, is moving to the Tucson, Arizona area, I thought he might want to be able to look forward to these Haboobs that start rolling in just ahead of the monsoon season down in Arizona. Those of you who remember the attempted hostage rescue from the American embassy in Tehran back during the Carter administration will remember that they sent 2 Chinook helicopters in, and one of them crashed in the midst of one of these Haboobs in the Iranian desert, thereby essentially, that just put the kibosh on that hostage rescue operation. didn't particularly help Carter's presidency either, although I don't think there could have been much done to help Jimmy Carter's presidency at that point. Okay, now, on to today's real absurdity. The bank clerk wasn't absurd, she was just dim. Well, that was just bad luck on the part of the, Iranian hostage attempt. I don't know, deliberately moving down someplace where you have stuff like this happen, I don't know. The jury's out on that. Now, here is Connections. You might have heard me talk about this before. Connections is the Episcopal Diocese of Southern Ohio's in-house magazine. Comes out quarterly. Or maybe every 2 months. I don't know. Today they've done it in the style of pop culture. Apparently the art director, David Driesbach, is trying to win some sort of prize among people that give prizes for diocesan magazines. He does some little theme thing every issue. This is done in sort of like the Roy Lichtenstein way. You've got, well, I'm not even going to tell you, it's just awful. But what they do is they tell you about the current ongoing General Convention of the U.S. Episcopal Church, which has been going on since July 5th. So Lord knows what sort of mischief has been going on for the last 2 days. But they go into the deliberation process of how resolutions are passed. And here's what got me. This woman here apparently is a delegate of some sort. Now it says here, speak, feel, vote. Speak, feel, vote. What's wrong with that? Speak, feel, vote. In that order. Like you speak first, and then you feel, and then you vote. See, I would have thought, notice the word thought, the verb thought, that you would first think, pray, speak, vote. I don't think feeling enters into it at all. In fact, ideally, it shouldn't, if this is to be a rational process. So I'd say think, pray, speak, if you wish, vote. Not speak, feel, vote. So after that, I basically lost any sort of intellectual respect I might have had for this and continued to thumb through it, because every now and again they bury some stuff in here. For example, here's a little piece about our former rector Tom Van Brunt and his wife. He's been appointed chaplains to the retired clergy and their spouses. He was telling me about this at Eddie Hunter's funeral a week ago. Yeah, last Saturday. Yeah. So it was nice of them to sort of give him a little recognition on that. All right. Isn't life great? I think it is. It beats the alternative, I'll tell you, for the most part. I mean, I'm sure for some people it does not, sadly. So my friend Tony Pincham in Worksop, well, he's at work now, but this afternoon he was at the gay pride thing there in Worksop. He sent me a couple of pictures on WhatsApp. sent one of him, which is great. And then he sent me one of the drag artists, taking the stage. You know, give me a break about drag artists. Just not my kettle of tea, guys. Anyway, I'll leave you with the Haboob, and I'll say bye-bye, YouTube.